thank you so much for joining us today for this video. I'm really pleased to be joined by Romaine Howard, Career Administrator and founder of the IFA VA, and Ruhaly Uddin, Client Relationship Manager at First Wealth and an aspiring advisor. So maybe, Romaine, could you start maybe giving us a bit of an idea about your career journey, your path to your role at the moment? That would be really good.
Yeah, no worries. So I started, I think like a lot of people or a lot of females in financial services, I genuinely just sort of fell into an administration role. I started working for a credit brokerage when I was around 16, I think. And it was great pay. That was predominantly the reason why I started there. It was really, really great pay in comparison to other sort of YT roles. I think I'm probably showing my age using that terminology, but it was great pay and it was basically unsecured loans. And I was sat on reception and talking to clients, and that's how I first stepped into financial services.
Yeah.
And then I progressed onto I moved to a packaging firm, so a mortgage packaging firm, where mortgage advisors would send their cases in. So not dissimilar to sort of coming a full circle to what I'm doing now, is in taking the administration off the mortgage brokers, the operations off the mortgage brokers, and packaging them and submitting them to lenders. Spent quite a while doing that, and then left there to briefly be a self-employed administrator for a lovely gentleman called Steve, who I'm actually hot desking in his office today, who put me through my CMAP. So that was sort of the path in the UK, and then was really lucky to get an opportunity based in Switzerland for an international financial advisory firm. So sort of switched from the mortgages over to the pensions and investments side. So spent a decade in Switzerland and France and Spain, and then back to the UK to start my own firm. So some, a good amount of experience across all of the sectors that fall in with financial services.
Yeah, really interesting. And really, what about yourself? What's your journey been like?
So I kind of knew early on that I wanted to work in financial services more because of the money, to be honest. That was the draw when you're young. And so I studied financial maths at university. Then I went on to an accountancy graduate scheme back up in Edinburgh. I was in an insurer up there. So I worked there for quite a few years. I think it was 6 years in the end. And then moved across different roles, started off in accountancy roles, then moved on to strategy roles. And then I decided I wanted to move to Hong Kong. So I ended up going there for a few years, working for an international bank out there, doing finance roles again, but then also product management. So I ended up launching a game on the banking app, which was really interesting. And then decided I want to come back to the UK, moved over to London, worked in a consultancy firm for a bit. That wasn't quite working out for me. And then I decided I needed a career break. So I actually went traveling for 6 months with my husband. We went to South America. I was reflecting on life, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Realized that actually I do love financial services. I do want to stay in it, but in a different capacity. So I then landed with financial advice and financial planning and started off in First Wealth, which I'm really enjoying, and it's the beginning of my financial planning career. So I've been in the company for a year now.
Yeah, great. And tell us a little bit about what you really enjoy about the role you're doing at the moment. Romaine, maybe I'll come to you on this first. What really sort of what's challenging for you about it?
Well, what I enjoy is that no 2 days are the same, really. I mean, they are as in the services that I offer my clients, but financial services, every day is different. No client is the same. No firm is the same. I think sometimes the challenge, which is the same as the beauty, is that no financial advisory firm is run the same. Yeah. Everybody has a different take. everybody has a different way of how they want to run their business and the services that they want to provide their clients and how they interact with their clients. So it's can be challenging. It's quite high pressure. There's a lot to get right. It needs to be right first time. At the end of the day, we need to make sure that we're giving the best service for those end clients. But you're never bored, ever. You're never, ever bored. And also, I think the fact that you're constantly learning new things, it's such a rapid changing industry. Even before you bring, the dreaded terminology of AI into the mix, it's always been a very quick moving profession, industry. It has to be because of how regulation has played a part. So you can never ever say that you're fully competent in what you do, I think, because there's always
learning.
You need to learn. It's no 2 days are the same, which is great.
And Ru, how have you found it so far? What have you enjoyed about the role that you're doing?
Yeah, similar to Romaine, the constant learning. I love that I'm constantly learning things that are also relevant to my life, and the things that I'm learning I can share with my friends and family. So I'm finding it really just relevant to my life, which is great. And also I love the exposure I have to clients. So in my previous roles, I wasn't working in a client-facing role, so I get to meet with the clients that we're supporting. They get to meet their personalities, go to their homes, and it's just great because you're making a positive impact on their life, and you want to help them. So you want to learn even more, so you can make it even more of an impact and give them the right advice. So I would say that part.
And I suppose just finally, what are some of the myths that you've come across about working in financial services? And how would you kind of answer that? Romaine, maybe I'll come to you on this one first.
I think one of the biggest myths is, or from my experience, is that to be successful in financial services, the end goal is being a financial advisor. And I mean, there's no taking away from the fact that the administration path, I believe, builds amazing advisors, because I feel like you then have a total understanding, a brilliant foundation to take it forward. But I think there's probably a misconception or a myth that is really the end goal, where there are so many other roles in financial services, administration, operations, power planning, that can be extremely rewarding. You can become extremely successful. You can build a career out of it. I mean, I have built a career out of something that predominantly, when I first stepped into the industry, was referred to as just back office or just administration. And I feel very strongly that there are some phenomenal opportunities for individuals, females especially, within the profession that isn't just purely advising. It would be great to see more women as advisors, but that's not the only role. And if females don't feel like that's for them, I've never had an overwhelming urge to be an advisor, although I did qualify as a mortgage advisor. I think there's plenty of opportunity. And also I think that it's, I guess another myth would be that it's totally male dominated. There's still lots of work to be done, but we're making some really good progress, and it's great to see. I put a comment on today on somebody's LinkedIn about how many women I'm seeing that are posting, their exam results, whether that be paraplanners, ops, advisors. So there are a lot of females out there doing great things. So it is still predominantly, I think, a male industry, a male profession. We're making some great progress. So I would say for women not to be put off, because it's a great space to work in. I can only talk from my personal experience, and it's been for the majority of the time that I've been in this industry, it's been an amazing experience, and the support that I've received from males and females has been been phenomenal.
So it's great to hear about them talking about their achievements as well. That's really going to help other people come forward as well.
Yeah, and to share those as well, so that somebody that's sat looking at their LinkedIn feed potentially going, this is all I've ever done, this is all I've ever known, I don't know whether I want to stretch myself. There are an army of individuals out there that really want to support you in that path. And it just takes you sort of being brave and making that first move. But there's definitely a huge amount of support and some brilliant communities as well.
Yeah. And Ru, what about you? Or what were some of the myths that you were hearing coming into it, and how has it, I suppose, not been quite what you expected?
Yeah. I was expecting it to be a proper boys' club and I needed to play golf. But actually, I came in, and although there is quite a large male population in the profession, similar to what Romaine said, it is very supportive. I've had so much support. I've had a lot of people offering to help me, advise me and guide me through joining the profession, regardless of my gender. And I don't play golf, and that is completely fine, because actually not many of my colleagues don't. Everyone has different interests, and you have to have a diverse group of people. Our clients aren't all into golf. Our clients are so varied themselves. So I think it's a lot more diverse than I thought it was going to be, and the support that I'm getting is a lot more than I expected. It's very, very nice profession to be in, very friendly.
Well, great. Well, thanks so much for joining us today and talking a bit about your roles. And I'm sure it'll be really, really useful for a lot of people watching, and women especially, to hear more about the progress you're making. And I wish you luck in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.